Hi, everybody. Dr. Larry here, the author of Save Baseball, a prescription for the major leagues. You can pick up my book anywhere online. Order yourself a copy today. One of the things I talk about in the book is the need for radical change to keep this game alive. And as we stare down the barrel of the 2026 season, the writing is on the wall. We've seen the data. We've seen the tanking, and we've seen the fan frustration over the years. But today I'm stepping out on a limb, and I've got three bold predictions that are going to define this year, along with my playoff predictions as well. All right, prediction number one, the revenue gap explodes. We're going to see the widest gap in MLB history between the haves and the have-nots. Owners are profiting millions by stripping teams down to the studs. You definitely have heard me talk about this before. In 2026, I predict that at least five teams, that's right, five, will finish the season with fewer than 60 wins. And this is an example of what we're going to see as the season progresses. Well, why is that? Well, because the TV money is guaranteed, regardless of the product on the field. Until we get the salary floor that I advocate in my book, say 80% of the tax limit, owners in places like Denver or Washington, D.C., well, they don't have any incentive to compete. Fans, you're going to see rebuilding turn into full-blown abandonment this year. It's a prediction, but it's also a warning. Prediction number two, Shohei Ohtani reclaims the two-way throne. Another thing that I talk about in the book is the phenomenon of the superstar impact. And, well, like it or not, we are witnessing something historic right now in Los Angeles. We're coming off an amazing 2025 season. The World Series was incredible. It was absolutely a revolutionary year. Can we also talk about Cal Riley for a second? I mean, this guy hit 60 home runs as a catcher. 60. I mean, he broke just about every record in the book and proved that the position is far more than just blocking balls. It's about pure, unadulterated power. But as we head into 2026, the conversation is going to shift back to the mound, and specifically the guy right here, Shohei Ohtani, and his arm. This is Ohtani's first full season back as a two-way player for the Dodgers since his recovery. And you've been watching early spring training data like I have. Well, you know, the baseball unicorn, as he's sometimes referred to, well, he's officially back. The velocity is there, and we're seeing him top out nearly at 100 miles an hour. And the stuff looks elite, just as it did before the surgery. So my bold prediction for 2026, I expect Ohtani not only to go toe-to-toe with Aaron Judge for the home run title, but I'm calling it now. He's going to be a finalist for the National League Cy Young. Just think about that for a moment. The impact, again, of what we saw when he was with the Angels. One individual on both sides of the ball doing what he's doing is incredible, and it captivates fans. And with the roster that the Dodgers have assembled, I might not like to say this, but I'm going to. We might be looking at an unprecedented World Series three-peat. It's a rare feat in modern baseball. We haven't seen it since the Yankees did this at the turn of the century. But with Ohtani firing on all cylinders, I mean, who's going to stop this team? I want to hear from the Dodger faithful. I want to hear from the haters alike. Is a three-peat inevitable? Or is the pressure of the grind going to finally catch up to them? Prediction number three. Kind of a surprise, right? Kansas City Royals, a power-packed Royal takeover in the AL Central. Something else I talk about in the book is how ballparks and their team identities, well, they evolve. And we're seeing a major shift in Kansas City. Remember, they're also moving those fences in at Kauffman Stadium. And for years, the Royals were the poster child for small ball, scratching out runs, stealing bases, and playing to the deep vistas of Kauffman Stadium. Well, forget everything you knew about Royals baseball. I predict the 2026 Royals are going to trash that reputation in favor of a high octane power surge. You've got Bobby Witt Jr. coming off an unbelievable season where he hit 322, and he is surrounded by absolute mashers. Pair him with Vinny Pasquatch, and the arrival of breakout rookie Jack Caglione, and suddenly the Royals aren't just relevant. I think they're a lock to lead the division in home runs. So I'm telling you now, do not be surprised if this offense has three different guys that clear that 30 homer mark. Well, as for the division, look, the Tigers are the favorites. We know that to take the Central. And it's hard to argue against that pitching depth. And when you have back-to-back Cy Young Award winner, Skubal, anchoring a staff that just added Framber Valdez, you're going to win a lot of ball games. However, the Royals are a total lock for a wild card spot. That offense is just too dangerous to keep out of October. I'd love to hear from the Kansas City fans. Are you ready to traditionally crown some baseballs over the wall, or are you going to miss those small ball days? So more predictions from the 2026 upcoming season that's just now underway. Let's talk about the division winners. I'll start in the AL East, and I'll go with the Yankees. And in the Central, I mentioned the Tigers already. The AL West, the Mariners. The NL West, East, maybe a tad surprise to some, the Mets. Going to go with my team, the Cubs, in the Central. And this team behind me, again, the Dodgers will win the West. And I've got to say right now, they are the odds-on favorite to win the World Series for a third consecutive time. Okay, let's think about the wild card before we go. So, who are some of those teams that we think are in the hunt for that? Well, I mentioned Kansas City already. In the AL, I'm going to throw in Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, and maybe the Orioles will be back this year as well in that conversation as we get closer to October. In the National League, we'll go with the Phillies, the Padres, the Reds, and my local team, the D-backs. So those are my thoughts. Those are my predictions. Let's hear your voice. I'd love to hear your ideas, thoughts, predictions for this 2026 MLB season. It's going to be a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, for the love of the game, I'm Dr. Larry.